Crazy news is coming out of Minnesota. Okay, layman terms, what happened is ESPN obtained a memo and information. Woj tweeted that the reason Glen Taylor pushed or pulled out of the deal ended the ownership, sale. Right now, Marc and Alex Rodriguez own 36% of the team. They were going to buy an additional 40% of the team, which would have ended the deal with them owning 76% of the team, being majority owners. As you guys know, Glen Taylor axed that. The reason why they axed that is a projection that Marc and Alex Rodriguez showed, which was supposedly going to be the budget for next season, had the team at $171 million. $1 million under the projected salary cap floor ceiling before you enter the luxury tax. Meaning that Marc and Alex Rodriguez were going to trade one of the 3-star players or many more. Obviously, they were either going to trade Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, or Naz Reid, because they were going to cut costs because they didn't want to pay the luxury tax. And Glen Taylor has said one of his reasons for pulling the plug on the deal was his weariness on the Wolves' ability to keep, the Marc and Alex Rodriguez ability to want to keep the team together. So what's basically going on is, I'll read you the exact report now, and team minority owner partners Marc and Alex Rodriguez submitted financial projections forecasting a sizable retreat in roster payroll that majority owner Glen Taylor believed would jeopardize the franchise's ability to compete for a title. In documents shared with Glen Taylor, the NBA, and the Carlyle Group, and Rodriguez rendered a budget projection as potential majority owners that would have lowered the team's payroll to $171 million beginning next season. That means they would trade these players this offseason, below a projected $172 million luxury tax threshold. After decades of futility, the Timberwolves are the West's top seed, and and Rodriguez cost-cutting projections were among the concerns that Glen Taylor decided as a reason why he had to avoid the contract that would have finalized the sale of the Timberwolves and the Lynx. Now, it's interesting because the Wolves would have gone from approximately so they're on pace to be a $25 million plus luxury tax payment team, and if they're below, they actually get $6 million as redistribution of the tax payment, because teams that are below the luxury tax, they get the tax that the teams pay gets dispersed to all the teams that are below the tax. So you kind of want to, it's actually financially incentivized to be below the tax, so you get a payment. Now, obviously, spokespersons for both Glen Taylor and the Rodriguez ownership group declined to comment. In a recent memo, the NBA instructed, the league office instructed both sides from refraining from talking, which obviously makes ton of sense if you think about it, because this is definitely looking like it could get hot. And it's going to continue to get hot. Adam Silver told reporters on Wednesday at the NBA Board of Governors meeting that the league office had no role in the ownership dispute and that the original sale agreement included a mediation plan for such a situation. Taylor's decision to end the 3-year process that would have concluded with Lauren Rodriguez assuming control of the organization this spring. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on projection to have a $198 million payroll, 3 max contracts, and if they were, the payroll will place them $27 million over the luxury tax, and that means they're going to have to move stuff. And Taylor has paid luxury tax in 4 different seasons. He has paid a total of $25 million in luxury tax in his span as an owner. And there's been questions about Lauren Rodriguez's ability to purchase and operate the Timberwolves as a tax-paying team in one of the league's lowest revenue markets. Although as minority owners, they did approve the contract extensions of Jaden McDaniels and Mike Conley in recent months that would assure the raise of the team's future payroll. So it's definitely interesting, and one that if you guys haven't been following around, it is an interesting one, because it goes to show maybe Glen Taylor isn't as wrong as we thought for pulling the plug on this deal. Maybe there was some actual validity behind it. I think that's the big thing that we're trying to figure out. How much sauce was there? But yeah, I think that's basically my thoughts. I don't know where we go from here. I think it's also interesting when we look at the rest of just how this is all playing out, because this is a group that we know there's been levels of frustration, there's been levels of ineptitude from both parties. So I think that's the biggest thing when we look at this situation. Because at this point, I don't know who's in the right, I don't know who's in the wrong, but one thing I could tell you is that there might have been some validity behind the idea that the reason Glen Taylor knows that if he sells this team again, Marc, Laura, and Alex Rodriguez will remain 36% owners, but he could sell it to the remaining to another team, make just as much money, and know that this team can continue to operate as a tax team, which I think is the biggest thing for everybody involved, is winning a championship. And I think there's a better chance of them winning a championship maybe without, because again, you guys know that the Timberwolves, Marc Lore and Alex Rodriguez tried buying a basketball team on credit. Yes, they tried buying a team on layaway, which is insane. And it really makes you wonder, what is going on here? And that's what I want to hear your guys' thoughts if you guys have been following the Timberwolves saga. What a crazy one this is, and I'm down to hear your guys' opinions if you guys have any that you guys would like to share. I think this is one of the crazier rumors I think as basketball fans we have seen in a while. And yeah, I'm very curious to hear everyone's opinions on what they think is happening and why. But that's it for me. I'll head out.